Hello, this is John Locke, and today I want to talk about the Google Sandbox, what it is, what it does, all that. There's two things that are really prompting me to make this video today. One is that a viewer wanted to know about the Google Sandbox, so thank you for that suggestion. The second thing is I saw somebody on the Reddit forums, the big SEO forums, and they were talking about they have optimized their site and they think their site should rank higher. Doesn't everybody? And they were saying that they think that it has to do with their domain age. So this person that was on the Reddit forum, they were saying that they're in a category or a vertical where it's all baby boomer type age people, so people 60s, 70s, and all that. And they said the number one and the number two ranking sites, they have a lot of domain age. They've been around forever. They have a lot of incoming links. But all the rest of them, from number 3 on page 1 all the way down to page 4, they said it's all thin content. People don't have links, and all these other things. They have a couple citations like NAP citations or whatever, but it's a lot of thin content, a lot of, like not stellar link things, and he thinks it has to do with the sandbox. Well, that may or may not be. It's really hard to say without looking at the site itself and being able to tell you. But let's talk about what the Google Sandbox is. So a lot of people believe, and I'm one of them too, that there is a kind of a sandbox type thing where there's a dampening of the ranking ability of a domain in its first year or first few months, or maybe even the first couple months of its use. So you can have an aged domain, meaning that it's been registered for more than a year, but Google actually looks at how long it's been used as how long it's been used as an active domain. So new sites that, let's say you have a brand new site and you debut the site, Google dampens the ranking power of that domain for a little while. And the reason being, they try and find where it's fitting into the rest of your industry, like where should we rank this site. Well, now in the past, there was a lot of people who would pump and dump websites. They would buy a domain for a year, and they would do some sort of affiliate marketing, try and get sites to rank, point a bunch of spammy links at it, and basically leverage black hat techniques to make that site rank for a year. And they don't care, because after a year, they're going to dump that domain anyway. So this is when Google probably first started using the sandbox, which was around 2004. Now, in recent years, Google representatives have been asked point blank, do they have a sandbox? Now, you have to keep it in mind that Google representatives do not tell the 100% truth about the algorithm. It's a very important thing to keep in mind. And you have to look for direct answers and times when they're using vague language. Now, when they use vague language, that means that there probably is something that you should analyze exactly what they're saying. So, John Mueller, I believe, Google's representative, a couple of years ago was asked about this, or Gary Iles from Google was asked about the sandbox, and they said that they do not have a literal sandbox where it keeps a domain dampened for a certain period of time, but most SEOs that do notice that there is a dampening period that can range from anywhere from 1 month to 13 months, generally speaking. So your domain name, your domain, your website should reach its full ranking potential in all cases after that first year, because Google is then certain that you're not pumping and dumping that website. You're not just pumping a bunch of spammy links into it, a bunch of black hat links to do some sort of sales, and then you're dumping the domain. So how long does it take, and what are things that you can do to make the site rank out of the gate? Well, be sure that you are putting out relevant content on your site. Of course, it's something you should always do. Whatever your customers are looking for, making sure that is on the site, and making sure that each page they can complete the action that they are expecting to take. Be proactive about your link building. That's one of the things it's a big thing, is being proactive about link building consistently, not just a big flurry and then stop, but making sure that you're consistently over time doing link building, making sure you get all your foundational citations like industry directories, local directories, things like that, your social profiles, but making sure that you're trying to get mentioned in some other places that are related to your industry. However you have to make that happen in a natural way, that's what you should do. So again, the Google reps have said in the past that they don't have a sandbox, but they definitely do have something that exhibits sandbox-like qualities. So whether that's an algorithmic thing, a dampening process that happens within the Google algorithm itself, that might be. Now, mind you, this doesn't mean that your site is not indexed. Your site can be indexed the same day, meaning the website itself appears in the Google index. If you do a branded search and you search for your company name or your domain name, it will show up. But it doesn't mean that you're going to rank for your money keywords right out of the gate. So remember, SEO is a long-term process, and you're going to have to do all these things like create content and build natural, relevant links to your website over time. And then just be patient and continue to try and grow your brand in ways that you would do it. Do things like go to trade shows, do direct mail. You could definitely do those old school methods, but I would say that Google cannot always track those. So be sure that you're doing things, like being active on social, building brand awareness, publishing content, all those things that, brands do in the 21st century to build their brand. So sandbox, yes, there is a dampening period. It can vary and it depends. Google has said that, the Google representatives had said that there is a time that they try and figure out where it fits. That is what John Mueller has said directly. There is a period of time in which they try and figure out where it fits within your industry and your vertical. So that really does sound like a sandbox to me, where you don't just rocket to number one. You're not going to be able to do that. First mover advantage is real. A lot of the incumbent rankers seem to have a lot of advantage, and knocking somebody off of that pedestal takes a little bit of work. So just keep at it and improve your site, improve your brand, improve your links, improve your content, improve your user experience, all those things, and you should be in good shape. Right, this is John Locke, Lockdown Design and SEO. We help manufacturing and industrial companies get more RFQs, put more money in their pocket. That's what I'm talking about. If you have an SEO question, leave it in the comments below. And remember, we're publishing every week. We'd be happy to see you subscribe. Until next time, peace.